In 2018, after about 5 years of serving as missionaries in Indonesia, our family of 4 set out to plant some roots and build an off-grid homestead from scratch in North Idaho, debt-free.
After about 1.5 years of extensive research, we finally found 7 acres of raw land that we felt had some good potential for building our homestead.
This is a 7-acre piece just a little bit north out of town, and it is heavily wooded. It starts right about here and then it goes down, let's see, right about to here, and then it goes that way. Some of the things that we were looking for on the property was southern exposure, because we were going to use solar panels to power our off-grid property. We come out here and we've got a little bit of a clearing here. And let's see, right now I am facing south. No mountains of any kind right there for the whole south side of the property. So take out a bunch of trees and you should have pretty good exposure to the sunlight in the winter time. We also wanted a lot of trees, a pretty good forest on the property, so that we could use it for firewood, because that was going to be our primary heat here on the homestead. Got a lot of nice sized trees, that's for sure. You got all these guys in here, and of course you got more down there.
There's lots of different types of trees. There's fir and cottonwood and pine. Lots of different kinds of trees on this property.
We wanted property that we could build the house far enough away from the road that we could have some privacy.
Jules is pacing it off from the street here. Looking at building location, septic system location.
33, 34, 35.
35 paces.
35 times 3. What? 70. 105.
105
feet.
105 feet to here, right here.
From the edge of the road.
Okay, let's go 50 feet more. All right, so we're trying to get down to 150 feet from the road.
Right here, Mom. Right here, 15.
Perfect,
right
huh?
15.
So is that far enough away from the road? What do you think?
For a house?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Plenty-o.
It's not like a highway or anything.
No.
There's only one neighbor that lives back that way.
This would give us a nice big front yard too.
Right here.
If a house went here in this area, the property starts to slope downhill from here very gently, but it would provide a much more of a view from here if it went down this way. And then there's a old road that goes right through here, and it keeps going down. Listen, you can hear the train. It's not too loud though. What do you think?
No, not very loud.
Hey, look at the
Train.
Not overly loud.
Not overly loud. We've been looking for a property that is south sloping. That way there's more sun in the winter. And this actually is pretty flat.
Still walking down that road here and saw this little cool area right here. Just thought we'd just come in and check it out. Pretty thick wooded area. Got some good sized trees in there for sure.
Also, we wanted ideally a creek, a spring, or a pond on our property that we could use for water. Unfortunately, we couldn't find a place that had a spring or a creek. We did find one with a little muddy pond on it though.
And right now we're looking for like a spring or pond. A pond fed by a spring. That's what we're looking for. Should be right up here somewhere, I think. Looks like they just dug it. And it turned into a pond. There's a pile of dirt right there.
That's awesome.
So that's cool. Yeah. Little pond area. I mean, it's tiny, but it's a water source.
Another thing that was really important to us was that the property didn't have any HOAs or CCRs, because we wanted to have more freedom and flexibility to build the way that we needed to build. Another very important point for us was that the property fit within our budget, because we didn't want to go into debt to build this homestead. Having a faithful, strong church in town was really important to us, as well as having good homeschool laws. So Idaho has wonderful homeschool laws, which was very important to us as a homeschool family.
Idaho is a very Second Amendment friendly state, which was another thing that was important to us. The final thing that kind of wraps it all up, I think, was access to an international airport within 2 hours from the homestead, because we still plan to go back to Indonesia and do mission work periodically throughout the years.
The property checked all of those boxes, and so we decided that we were ready to put an offer. But our offer was contingent on passing the perk test.
We're renting this to go dig some test holes for our septic system on our property. This is it right here. Now, I do not know how to operate this, but our friend Jake does.
And I do.
And Seth does, he says. We're digging up the hole here, and we're looking at dirt today. Just measuring it here. How deep are we? It's pretty deep, huh? You go 6 feet to bury somebody. How'd you like to dig that with a shovel?
Be over your head, Seth.
Oh wow, that'd be hard. Yeah,
That would be crazy.
I got these tracks backwards. This blade should be up here helping me stabilize.
Oh yeah. He's inspecting the soil right now. Alright, so we're digging the second test hole now on the other side of the property, just to make sure what we've got going on over here and whether it'll be good for building on the other side as well. This spot right here is not appropriate for a septic system, so we're going to move over here on the other side of this fire pit and dig another hole right there. This is now the third hole that we're digging, and it's so far seems to be looking pretty good. He's going to be checking it out right here a little bit closer and see what we've got for soil. Alright guys, so this is the spot for the septic system. It's got to basically go right here, and then it's going to go all the way over this way as well. And so this is the spot. Seth's filling it back in. He's got a long job there. Actually, Jake's coming over with the excavator.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he is.
I didn't hear him.
You guys already filled in the other ones, right?
Yep.
So we have B2 soil, huh?
B2 soil.
I wanted to come over.
So it's like mid-grade.
Yeah.
It's not great for drainage, but it's not bad. It didn't fail, that's the important part.
That's right.
So the septic tank goes like up here,
Yeah, it'll go up in here somewhere probably, and
and then the pipes come down. And
yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks Chris. You made our day, man.
Stay out of the way, bud.
Marty's giving it a try.
All of a sudden, the
He's
guy
having a lesson. Dump it right back in the hole. Maybe you can hop up there with him and he can teach you. Let him practice a little bit. That's a sign of a concentrated face. Concentrated man.
Today's video is sponsored by EcoFlow. You know, we recently got back from Tennessee and they had a huge ice storm just before we got there. A lot of our friends were out of power and out of water, and for some of them it was pretty tough. But if they had a unit like this, man, they could have had their power on like that. Let me show you how. First thing, power's out. What do? Oh no. Unplug it from the wall. Then you take your cords here, and we're going to plug this one right into here. This is our backup power inlet. Then we take this cord and we plug it in right down here. This is our 240 volt 30 amp outlet. We also have other outlets here that you can use as well, but we're not using those to back up our whole house. The next thing I'm going to do is open this guy up here and turn the main breaker off. So go ahead and turn this guy off, slide this down, turn that on. Now there's no power going here yet because we've got to turn the AC power on right here. Power is on. Look at that. Power is coming out of this cord into this outlet. Green light is on. It's coming into the panel through here, 240 volts, and it's feeding every single one of the breakers in our house.
Now we can go ahead and start managing our circuits so we don't waste too much power. We want to make sure that we kept our refrigerator and our chest freezer powered up. Also, we would want to keep our Wi-Fi router and our Starlink security camera system, make sure that keeps going. We would want to have a way to, of course, charge electronic devices and things like that. And then we would definitely want to make sure that we kept our lighting circuits on. So let me tell you a little bit about this unit. This is the EcoFlow Delta Pro Ultra. It has a 6 kilowatt hour battery here on the bottom, and you can expand that all the way up to 90 kilowatt hours of power. It starts off at 7.2 kilowatts of power, but again, you can expand that all the way up to 21.6 kilowatts of power. You can also charge this thing in a variety of ways, including like off the wall from a generator or solar power. But my friends, if this is like too much power for you, or you need something that's a little bit more portable, this, my friends, is the little brother. It is the EcoFlow Delta Pro 3. It's got a 4 kilowatt hour battery in it, and you can expand that all the way up to 48 kilowatt hours of battery backup power. This guy also puts out 120 volts or 240 volts, just like this one. And so I can take this cord right here and plug it into this unit and power my house just like I can with this one. It's just a little bit smaller and a little bit more portable. It puts out 4,000 watts of power, and you can expand that up to 12,000 watts. So why is a battery backup system like this such a good idea? This is what I'm thinking. Gas engines, they just don't start when you really need them to. Now, you have a gas generator, it's loud for one, it has a lot of exhaust, so you have to run it outside, and just to run a small load, like say to keep your Wi-Fi router going, you have to run your big gas generator 24/7. This guy just hums along, barely using any power if you're not using very much power. All of the problems with a gas generator are solved by these guys right here. So as the winter season peaks, right, stay safe, stay powered with @EcoFlow Tech. It's quiet, indoor safe, and easy to use, right? EcoFlow is the most reliable backup power solution when the grid goes down. There's a link down in the description below where you can get all of the information and check the current prices.
Thankfully, it passed the perk test and we were able to move on to the next step and close on the property. At that point, we moved back to Tennessee, where we began to hand draw all of the plans for the home that we were going to build on the property. We submitted those plans to Bonner County Planning, and we were ready to move on to the next step.
We have 7 acres here, and so our house is here. The access road is right here. Need to label that access road. And then your driveway coming in, where your proposed septic system is going to be, things like that. Just basic hand drawn on the grid, what your layout's going to be.
And for this, they actually have a checklist of what they want included. And so if you had a well, they would want that on here as well.
Yep, right, so super simple. And then the next thing coming up here is actually the floor plan. And again, it can be super simple, right? They don't need a really detailed architectural drawing for a residential home. And so this is the basic floor plan here. It's 40 feet long, 24 feet wide, has a great room right here, then a kitchen, bathroom, laundry area, washer, dryer, hot water heater over here, and then master bedroom here with a bathroom right off of the master bedroom. And then we have some stairs that go upstairs to the loft. This part right here is open to above, so it's going to be like a big cathedral ceiling in there.
Yeah, we want to have a fireplace right here.
Yep, wood stove.
Yeah, wood stove, and so this area should be really a fun area.
And then we go to the loft area, the second floor. Right, you come up the stairs here, or you go down from the upstairs view, down the stairs. And this is the loft area where we can have some like office space, and the kids can do their homeschooling and stuff up here as well. It has some desks and things. And then we've got Sarah and Seth's bedrooms right there.
And this is all open.
Right.
So if you're standing here, then you're looking down to the bottom floor.
Yeah, into the living room.
The living room,
Yep.
living room and dining room area.
Correct. That's cool, huh? So now then we look at the south side and the north side of the house. The south side, we decided to put the most windows on so that way we can get the most heat from the sun in the wintertime and also bring in as much light as we can into the house during the winter. And then the north side here, of course, not as many windows, but you have to have windows for the bedrooms up here and then our bedroom here and a door to come out of the back side of the house.
And maybe eventually we'll add like a mud room back here, but for these plans, we're not having that right now.
Yep. And let's see, coming up next. All right, so this is the west side of the house. This would be the kind of the back side from the street of the house. And so this would go into the laundry room. This is a bathroom window here. This is the window over the kitchen sink. And then this is a door that goes into kind of the dining area and dining room windows right here. Let's see, the next one coming up is the east side. This is the side of the house that actually faces the street. And so we got the living room windows, the main front door, bathroom window, and then our bedroom windows right here. And we're hoping later is to build a nice porch that goes all the way down this whole side, which will attach here and then come out, right? A nice porch and deck area.
Yep. In the future.
Yeah, right. But in these plans, it's not here.
While we were there, Seth actually built our home in Minecraft. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I built our house that we're gonna build in Minecraft.
Seth's got us all set up here, and he's gonna give us a tour of our house that we're gonna build in Idaho.
Yeah, so this is the front. This is the front door right here, and this is the porch. And yeah, it's pretty big, pretty nice. And then this side of the house has a lot of windows, and that's where like the living room and the dining room is, so that sunshine can shine through it. The other side.
This is the west side of the house here.
Yep. And then
this is the north side.
Yeah. Oh no, it's raining. Let's go up the porch and in through the front door. And there's our couch right there, or what it might look like.
Cool.
And here's our dining table right here, and here's our fireplace. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. It's even got fire in it.
Yep. And then here's the kitchen. Sink, furnace, fridge, and storage place, cabinets.
Sether, I think it's called a stove.
What did I say?
Furnace.
Oh. In Minecraft, they're called furnaces.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're learning some Minecraft vocabulary today, too.
Yeah, so there's supposed to be like the oven and then the stove.
Okay, got it.
And then here's the bathroom right here, bathtub, toilet, and sink
What are all the torches in there for?
to make it light.
So there's no light bulbs in Minecraft?
No. There's no electricity. It's only redstone.
So you have an off-grid Minecraft house, too.
I guess.
We're building an off-grid house, and you got an off-grid house.
Yep.
Hopefully we won't have open torches like that, though.
Yeah. And then here's mom and dad's bedroom.
Cool.
Big bedroom. And then here's their bathroom. Nice. And then here's some storage space to put all the storage you need for the bathroom. And you should probably cover it here. And then if we go this way, here's the wash machine and the dryer. And here's some storage space to put all the stuff we need.
Okay, nice.
And then if we come back to the living room, we have these nice big stairs right here.
Yeah.
Going up to the second floor. And this is where me and Sarah will be doing our school right here. And then this is mine and Sarah's rooms. Pretty
Cool.
nice and big. And a
That's
big window
nice.
right there too. And that's all.
And so when we build the house, though, there'll be a rail on here, right?
Yeah, probably.
So like we can't fall off the balcony thing there.
Yeah, but it looks pretty silly in Minecraft.
Yeah. That's cool, Seth.
Yeah.
You did a good job of showing our house. So that's kind of what we're looking at, wanting to build here.
Yep.
It's kind of like 1.5 stories, I guess you'd say, 2-bathroom, 3-bedroom house. You remember how many square feet that was, Jules?
1440.
1440, so 1,440 square feet.
While we were in Tennessee, we added a family member. We got a dog, and his name is Tux. He's a Boston Terrier. We got him before we moved onto the property because we felt like once we got onto the property, it was going to be a lot harder to train him. So we wanted to have kind of some of that worked out before we got onto the property.
This is our new addition to the Johnson family.
Tux.
Meet Tuxedo. We're calling him Tux for short.
We call him Tux because he looks like he's wearing a tuxedo. And he is a Boston Terrier, and they are called America's Gentlemen because they look like they're wearing a tuxedo.
He's almost 9 weeks old.
So
Tomorrow,
he's really little.
he'll be 9 weeks old. This right now is his favorite toy.
So after about 2 weeks of waiting, after submitting our plans for our home, we got the envelope back from the building department saying that it was approved.
We have got the results back, guys. So we're gonna open it up, see what they sent us, and see if we're gonna be able to build a house where we wanna build it, when we wanna build it.
So exciting.
This is what's called a building location permit. It's a permit to build a house where you wanna build it and the size that you've said.
So all of the colored stuff is where they've gone through, it looks like, and like approved and okayed what we did, maybe verifying it.
With all of that taken care of, we decided to start our trip out west. So we packed up our house in Tennessee, we loaded up our trailer, loaded up our cars, and hit the road.
The trailer is all packed up now. The house is clean and we are ready to hit the road. We added debt-free off-grid homesteading, because that's what we're trying to do here, right? We have got Brittany and Sarah starting off in this car right here. That's Brittany and Sarah back there. You ready for a long ride, buddy?
You're gonna be a good boy.
It is 3 a.m. here in Oklahoma City. We took a nap last night and we're on our way to Durango, Colorado. Tux is doing really good in the car.
He's a good dog.
He's doing really good. He's just hanging out, sleeping, resting, jumping around a little bit. Whoa, look at that, there they are. It's about 8:30 in the morning, guys. Whoa, we've been making good progress. Lots of rain this morning. Well, lots. We're gonna head in here, cruise into the info center, tighten up some straps. Look at this guy, loose. Good, good, good. We gotta fix this guy too, came undone. New Mexico, guys. Still really windy. You probably can't hear it because we've got the little wind muff on top, but it is, wow, it's even more windy. Look at the flags. Made it to the world famous Klein's Corner here.
We learned a super valuable lesson. On Interstate 40 in New Mexico near Klein's Corners. It was super windy and we had our IBC totes in the trailer.
We lost these things on the highway on Interstate 40 before you get to Santa Rosa. I'm really surprised they held up as good as they did, but they just like floated up and then just went back into the other lane.
The totes just flew off the back of the trailer, I guess because it's so windy. Like you can see it in the grass and everything blowing, and it just completely took it off.
And then into the middle of the interstate. Brittany was behind us. She was like totally safe. It didn't even come close to her. She was pretty far back there and in the other lane. So they went up over into the fast lane and then rolled into the middle of the interstate. Thankfully, there was nobody in the fast lane right behind us.
The lesson that we learned was always strap everything down.
Everything.
And that could have been a disaster. Thankfully, there was nobody behind us that got hit by them. There was nobody in the other lane and everything turned out fine. but it could have been disastrous. And so we learned,
Tie everything down.
tie it down and tie it down good.
No matter how heavy it is, tie it down.
That's right.
We've been in California now for a couple of days, packing up, getting ready, and my parents are coming up with us. This is what they're gonna be traveling up in. We've transferred our water tanks over to here. We've got a bunch of tools and wood on their trailer. And then on ours, you'll see it is way more streamlined than it was before. Hoping that we're gonna get better gas mileage without those big tanks right here. We're ready to go, ready to hit the road, heading towards Idaho with a stop someplace along the way. We're in Mount Shasta, California at Wholesale Solar. We're here to pick up a few solar panels. We're gonna cruise on in, see if we can pick them up right now, and I'll show you what we got. You can see Mount Shasta right over there.
Tux, come here. He's a Boston Terrier.
You are the sweetest little thing.
Hi, did you have a good play?
All right, we're all loaded up, guys. We're gonna take a little trip down the road and then we'll check it again, make sure it's okay. But we've gotten 4 of these panels right here. They're 275 watts. That's what we're gonna start out with. 16 hours later, Jules. We're at the Quality Inn. And what's the name of the town, anybody?
Umatia.
Umatia Quality Inn. Tomorrow, early afternoon, we should be up in Sandpoint at our off-graded property. And setting up camp. We got camp under here. Everything seemed to make it fine. Good morning, guys. It is about 8 o'clock in the morning. Got some coffee from the Quality Inn here, and we're about ready to hit the road. But first, we need to check a load, make sure it's all still here. We've got everything, looks like it's here. Still tight, 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 tight. All right, that's good. Everything's still here. We've got about 5 hours left in our trip, and then we'll be in Sandpoint, Idaho. You ready to get there, Sarah?
Yeah, it's only gonna be like 5 or 6 hours today, so it's not bad.
It's true. What else you want to say?
Nothing. Enjoy the ride.
All right, we are here, guys. Whew, lots of trees, just like before. Yes, lots of trees. So we made it, guys. You saw the porta potty here, already brought for us. Simple way, 85 bucks a month for that thing. They come out and clean it once a week. And so we'll be using that until we get the septic system put in. But look, we got the girls here. We got Tux.
Tux is loving it.
Thinking about putting tents right here with tarps over the top. Kind of making this a camp area. This whole area right here, camp area.
That's right. In order to make it all work out financially, we had to live in tents while we built our home. You can see how we set up our whole homestead camp in the next video, but in the meantime, you can check out this video right over here. I'll see you over there in just a second.